Your space, your full grove here. And yes, we have Mr. Team Bruce Willis himself with us. Dave, the movie man. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. I was excited to hear you're doing a deep dive on Bruce Willis, and I could not resist.
Yes, yes. I had to. I had to. I'm happy that you are here, especially if I wanted to do any of these type of reviews or breakdown deep dives of Bruce Willis movies. I will have to do it with you. And what this is a great time for one of the best out of the series to bring you on.
Definitely, this is the best one of the series.
Yeah, I feel like it too so far. I haven't seen any. I'm up to three basically, and I haven't seen the rest either. So far, I'm hoping to have something just as good or a little bit less good, but we're gonna see.
You keep hoping there.
Yeah, yes. All right, so we're gonna jump straight into it. People out there, guess what? This is officially not a Christmas movie. This one is not a Christmas movie. And I hate to say this, but McLean's back in New York. What's up with that, Dave?
I don't know. They kind of skipped that part. They just all of a sudden he's back in New York. He's suspended. He is two steps away from being a drunk, and then he's got to correct the boss in this movie. Like, no, I'm one step away from being a full blown alcoholic.
Yeah,
He's out. He's fighting with the wife again. We left him visiting New York because he now took his job in, or was he visiting Chicago? Man, it's been a while since I watched the second one.
he was visiting DC. He was visiting
DC. That was
his
the DC
in-laws.
airport with Dennis Fonts.
Yes, he
NYPD
was.
Blue had me, confused there.
Yeah,
But at that point, he was working for, he was working out on the West Coast. But this movie starts off, he's back on the East Coast. We don't know why. We know he's not talking to the wife. And everyone's like, call your wife, call your wife.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe that. Me seeing it didn't make sense. I didn't even really pay attention to it when I just seen basically part three. I heard all of that, but I didn't take it into consideration because I didn't see part one and part two. But yes, now that I've seen part one and part two, for him to be back in New York, it kind of like I don't know, kind of like shook me a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on with the missus? Yeah, I know. And truthfully, I'm starting to see a pattern in these movies, not only these movies, also, I'm starting to see a pattern in all 90s movies that the villains are all foreigners. But yeah, to back to the question, what's up with all the evildoers and the villains being from foreign countries in all
Well,
the 90s
yeah.
and these series?
Well, I mean, the 90s is just after the whole Cold War thing really ending. So a lot of movies I think were already pre-written that, oh, the big Iron Curtain's coming for us. And then I guess there was a lot of poorer areas after the split of the United Soviet Union. So maybe that's why they thought they're coming to steal our gold. But yeah, that was the seemed to be the thing in the 90s. All these evil guys were from uh these European countries since we have such bad school systems, we probably never would have heard of without some of these action movies.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. 100%. Yeah, nah, that's just something that daunted on me that I was like, oh yeah, I gotta write this down because I'm starting to see the pattern and it's crazy. So right now we're gonna start off basically the beginning of the movie. We already know McLean was suspended. The department that McLean basically was working for got a anonymous call and they demanded McLean to come play hide and go seek. The whole in the beginning, we already know this is in Harlem. This is in the hood, and they want this man to walk through Harlem with a sign that says "I hate niggas."
Ooh, no.
Yeah,
And
I know.
naked at that. And
And
naked.
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 And naked. And that would have been the end of the movie if it wasn't from one of my favorite actors, and that's Samuel L. Jackson helping this man coming to his aid and making sure that he didn't die. Yes. Like I said, this was definitely, I actually seen more details this time, and I liked it more than any previous times that I watched it. This movie will never get old, and I think this will always be in my top movie selection forever, basically. It stood the test of time.
This is my go-to Die Hard movie. I don't know if it's because you've got the granted Samuel L. Jackson's not a cop, but you've got that buddy cop chemistry. You've got, it's great. The first one, he's running around alone in the hotel. The second one, again, the order of these movies, I like it. This one is definitely my favorite. Then it's the
Yeah.
first one. Then the second one's right underneath that. Then
Okay.
unfortunately,
Oh, they
you'll see
start
as
to.
we do the next one.
Damn. Oh man. That's sad to hear, man. Because they actually part one and part two was actually good.
They're very good. Before I saw this one, they were like almost neck and neck. I think part two is a little bit less. Part one, you have that great villain, God rest his soul. I mean, he was playing villains all throughout the 80s, 90s, and he was just perfect in that movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this one just had that on-screen chemistry, and it was like a reluctant liking of each other for
Hmm.
whatever reason. Bruce Willis is just, he's angry, he's hungover, he's got a headache, and people are trying to blow him up. Samuel L. Jackson, I kind of liked his attitude. Take care of yourself. No one else
Yeah.
is going to take care of you. Don't let anyone give you a handout because they're not giving you a handout.
Mm.
I like that I like that message, believe it or not, is even in there. It's very good.
Yes. 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 Definitely. I can't even unsee Samuel Jackson being part of this Die Hard series because of this one. Obviously, this is the one that put me on. But one thing that I feel like he went against the code in, everybody know living in the hood, you mind your business.
Mm.
He wasn't trying to. He even went to the point that he drove in a taxi cab away and left his own way of making money, making ends meet. He left it wide open for the hooligans to trash to
Yeah.
help this guy, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. I couldn't.
Well, I mean, there's an important line he did say in that movie. So when he first thought the guy was crazy, I don't know how far he would have helped him. But when he said, I'm a cop, then he's like, because he did say, you get one dead cop in the neighborhood today, you have a
Mhm.
bunch of angry cops in Harlem. And then
True.
I don't even know if he said it, but that's going to lead to a lot of dead kids.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. He basically implied that, I mean,
he wasn't saving him for him in the beginning of this movie. He was saving him to save the neighborhood from burning down, kind of. That,
exactly.
you know,
Exactly. Because he was being selfless. He was being
yeah.
selfless in it. He needed that guy to get out of the hood and get back safely so it don't harm the people in the hood. You're right. You're right. Okay. I definitely remember him saying that. That is true. So this movie was full of riddles. I actually recorded some of the riddles, not for today. I erased it on my phone now to see if me and my wife could actually figure out some of these riddles. And we did awful. We did awful. I definitely was adding up the seven cats and the seven kittens inside the seven sacks until they broke it down. And they didn't go nowhere. The seven wives,
No,
nobody
it's
went
the one
anywhere.
guy went. Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
was
yeah, just
great.
the one guy. Exactly.
That was great. I love, I love that. I love the,
Yes,
you know,
it brings something different to movies, period. I don't see no other riddle type movie because this was based on riddles. But Saw, Jigsaw.
Yeah, Chainsaw,
It-
Jigsaw. Jigsaw's his name. The Saw movies. What is his
yeah, the
name?
Saw movie,
Yeah,
exactly.
Jigsaw.
That's like the only one that has these type of riddles. And I think is a movie called Some Escape Room. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that was
maybe
pretty good too.
yeah, maybe that too. But you don't really see too many movies that basically involve riddles. As if you don't get this riddle, everybody might die. So yeah, this definitely stood the test of time. It's always a great watch. But I wanted to ask you the math in the park with the water jugs.
It works.
It
I know it
works.
doesn't seem like it works because they actually either want you to forget, keep watching, because why you get confused is they never say how they got the 2 gallons of water in the 3 gallon jug. And that's the key part. So what you do is you have the 3 gallon jug is empty. Fill up the 5 gallon. Pour that into the 3 gallon jug. You have 2 gallons left in the 5 gallon. 3 gallon jug, dump out to empty. 2 gallons, put into the 3 gallon jug. Now in the 3 gallon jug, you have 2 gallons. This 5 gallon jug is empty. Fill that back up to 5 gallons. You now have room for one more gallon in the 3 gallon jug. Pour that in. 5 gallon jug has 4 gallons. So
Yeah,
they never said how they got the 2 gallons in there. That's why that one is so confusing. And we're all like, wait, how did they do that? Because I guess they do want us going back and probably seeing that stuff. So they
yeah.
didn't give you the whole thing, but that was pretty neat.
That
I
was the
mean,
perfect breakdown though, because
yeah,
now I understand it. I was lost. I remember telling you, all right, I'm gonna go watch it and see if it added up. I didn't know how it added up until you just said it. But
yeah,
yes, there was a lot of water dumping. And yes, okay,
yeah.
beautiful. I like
They
the way
threw
you
us off
solved
by
that.
not saying how they got 2 gallons into the 3 gallon jug.
Yes,
That was, that was key. I also love how you say this movie stands the test of time, and there's a couple of lines that I love in this movie. When they're talking about 42nd presidents divided by 21st, they're mentioning Hillary Clinton. I thought it
yes,
was hilarious. And the one cop in the beginning, I don't remember why she came up. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna marry Donald Trump," which is, 95. This guy is already a household name, which some of
yeah,
us may have forgotten. So, whether you like him, you don't like him. I just thought that was hilarious. And then, Home Alone 2, you start to remember all these movies he's actually in.
yes,
So that's pretty funny. I
yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was pretty funny.
I remember being young and him definitely popping up every so often in the TVs and all that. So yes, in he is a staple in everyone's household, even if it's from across seas or not. You if you watch our movies, most likely you've seen him 2 or 3 times. But now he's a president, you know what I mean? He's way bigger than what he was back in the days. Um, question. I had a question.
I wonder if after his presidency, I wonder if he can go back to acting. I mean, he loves the limelight, it seems like. It'd be funny to actually see a president in a movie, an
Yeah,
ex-president
no,
in a movie.
that's true. But I'm thinking that the producers and the writers, they might second guess it just in case it might hurt their sales in a way. I think it would boost their sales, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might be thinking more along the lines of whatever he does in these 4 years, if they will even give him a role in anything in 4 years. Because he could louse it up. Actually, he could completely make things not go great. So I guess we will have to see him through his 4 year time. And if there's any president that would do it, I'm pretty sure it would be Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So the scene that I never really picked up on throughout the movie that I picked up on when I seen it recently is all of the cops calling their families before they was going to basically attack this mission. Like they felt like it was a possibility that they wasn't gonna make it home. Do you remember that scene?
No, where was that scene they were calling? Well, I know they started calling when Simon calls the radio station,
Yeah.
which is funny. Actual Z100 DJ for those of you from New York. If y'all
Hmm.
remember Elvis Duran. Um,
Yeah.
but when he calls that in, um, everyone lights up the 911 switchboard because they want their kids out of the schools. But I
Yeah.
don't remember the cops calling in to say goodbye to their family. Where was that in the
Right.
scene?
It was right before right when they found that the bomb was in that 21st president's school. They had a school called whatever the 21st president was.
Chester A. Arthur.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So when they found out the bomb was down there, they have a scene of all the cops that was at this location calling their family on the payphones. It was like 7 payphones in a row, and it was nothing but cops on each row,
Oh.
like calling their families. Me, that would have been easy to do. I'm calling my family to tell them we're leaving New York. First of all, we in Long Island. So nothing's gonna hurt me. And that might have been a day that I quit the force.
I don't know. Wait. Come on, man. I know you. I'm sorry, you're more of a hero than you think you are. Yes, self-preservation, this, that, and the other thing. Come on.
Uh-uh.
Little kids could die. You're just gonna leave them.
Oh,
No.
yeah, yes,
I know him
yes,
too well. That's BS.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
again, I don't know. I believe it or not, I can't say I'm pro cop. I can't say I'm anti cop because I'm somewhere in the middle. There's bad apples in every bunch, and sometimes more bad apples start adding on with some of the old school training. But I also would never want to be a cop because you're wearing a uniform, you're wearing a bullseye on you, regardless
Of
where
course.
you are. It doesn't matter. You could be in the middle of nowhere, pull someone over who is scared they're getting pulled over because they got something in the car and do something stupid. And,
Mhm.
it's, so yes, our systems need improvements, but I mean, I'm not like one of those people that are going to say, oh, get rid of everything. But come
Oh
on,
no,
man, I
I don't
can't
think.
see you not saving people.
Oh yeah, I'm quitting the force,
All right.
especially if my kids is on Long Island in school, and
And
this
you're
is
like,
all the
oh,
way in
Long
Manhattan.
Island school's not blowing up. There's a Manhattan
Well,
school.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I need to stick around. I got my own family. I don't got time to really think about other people's kids. That's what
Hmm.
I'm saying. Like, I don't see me ever being a cop, but if I was, that would have been a day that I
Like, I'm out
quit.
of here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Slowly walk backwards. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll be over. And then just sprint.
Truthfully, it might not even be that bad because there was so much cops there that I probably could have went home and then not realized that I left, and I'll come back at the end. You know, who's to say? There wasn't that much cameras back then to show if I was there or not. So I probably would have left.
Yeah, I gotta say, how many times is the Twin Towers in the background?
Oh,
That
so many.
was crazy to look at. I mean, it opens up with the skyscape, and it is centered on the Twin Towers. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember. I remember. That's basically when you shot a New York shot. It was either the Statue of Liberty or the Twin Towers when it opened up on any type of movie that was based in New York. There go. It was a lot of no matter of fact, it wasn't a lot. It was a lot of additions to the money. But what was it? The $10 bill that had the Twin Towers?
Oh, I did not know. I don't remember.
It was one of the bills. I'm pretty sure it was 10, or could have been 20 as
What about
well.
a $2 bill for Twin Towers?
No, the $2 bill had something like George Bush type thing, like horses pulling pulling a carriage in front of like a monument. It might have been DC in its earlier years, actually. But yeah, it was more like dated.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
this might have been the 20 because they was doing stuff with the 20 that when they fold the tree from the 20 and the twin towers, when they fold it a certain way, it'll show the twin towers on fire. So I think it was the 20.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, they was doing that back in the day. I remember. So yeah, I think it was on the 20, but yes, the Twin Towers was a major part of New York. I would say it was even more popular than the Statue of Liberty. Or just about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just you got used to seeing it every time you went to the city. You can't miss it.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. It was crazy.
there's a couple of things. You don't miss the Chrysler Building. You don't miss World Trade Center. And you didn't miss Empire State Building. Honestly, before the Twin Towers came down, I don't know if I ever noticed 30 Rock, but now you notice 30 Rock, Rockefeller Center.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but prior to that, I don't know. It was always like Chrysler Building, Empire State Building, like Woolworths Building,
Yeah. Yeah.
Twin Towers downtown.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, 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 that's true. Um, like I said, this was a great movie. This gave me the same feeling that I seen the first time. It's like I watch this movie every 5 years, and it's like watching a new movie every time. This might go down in history for me as one of the best action movies of all time. And that's crazy because they got so much good movies now, and that still, you know, it still would add up or fill the shoes of some of these new movies with the action. To me, Bruce Willis got some. I was looking through his stuff. He is the king of action movies.
Oh,
If
dude,
you think about it,
he's got an amazing career.
yeah, his catalog is crazy. They did manage. They did manage to fit Christmas inside of the movie. And when I heard it, I just had to chuckle. They basically pulled over two Spanish kids that were stealing from a store. And when McLean stopped them, he said, he said, "Why are you stealing? Did your parent?" I think he said, "Did your parents teach you to steal?" He said, "No, look around. There's no cops around here."
It's like
They,
Christmas. Oh my God, I
yeah,
missed that.
yeah,
Oh my God, I
yeah. So
totally
they
missed
did
that.
fit it.
I
They
remember
did
the
fit.
line.
Yeah, they could steal City Hall, and
Yeah.
that's when he
He
said
says, yeah. And then he stole the kid's bike that was
he saw.
stolen.
Yeah, exactly. But they also were stealing basically the bottom of City Hall. That's where where his goal was at, right?
Yeah, yeah. The it's the Federal Reserve.
Reserve. Yes,
Yeah, the
yes,
Federal Reserve.
yes, yes. I did
Which I
feel bad.
mean, I do remember they were talking about even after the Twin Towers came down, they were talking about getting all that gold out of New York City, and then they stopped looking for bodies around the same time they reclaimed all the gold, and that was some controversy.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It had to. It's like, yeah, they just was searching, making sure they had all they gold. They didn't really care about the people. That's probably what people was thinking in their head. That's crazy. So, how did you feel about Samuel Jackson leaving the gold bar in the car?
Oh my God. I was like, how did he do that? And then he's like, and like Bruce Willis was just so calm about it. Uh, the man, that guy's gonna be so upset. Not when he looks in the back seat and says, "No, turn around, it's my gold bar."
Yeah, yeah. I felt so sad.
Yeah, but I mean, how would he have been able to even hide that?
Well, he
More
was a
power to him if he hit it, because I would keep it. I'm sorry, you're gonna call me evil unless you're gonna give me 10% of what was in that vault.
yeah. I would have kept it.
Yeah,
Definitely kept it. And you gotta think his store was a pawn store. So all he had to do is find somebody that's in the same business that deal with gold. They could have melted it down, and he gave a portion to whoever did it for him, and he could have just been selling it in his store. So yes, it would have been easy for him to break that down and get rid of it in different trinkets. So I think yes, I think he would have got away with it. He's already in that type of business.
he could have made up a bunch of those. What are those fish from Ancient Aliens? The alien flyers. Could have been selling them right out.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. He could have sold it. Yeah, I think he would have got away. And I can't believe McClane didn't look out for him and actually get him a gold bar because
And
the
be like,
truck
yo, don't
that
forget your gold bar. He's just like, they're never gonna let you keep it.
he had 100 of them inside of the truck that he was driving. Remember, in the tunnel. Didn't he say 30 billion? The bad guy said you got $30 billion worth of gold in the back of the truck. How about we just cut it, cut our losses. You leave with that and let us go.
Was it already
Well,
switched at that point with the scrap? And he didn't know it. So he was like saying, hey, you have 30 million or 30 billion.
because it was
Everything was a
empty.
big game to Simon. Simon
Yes,
says, a game. This is the whole thing's about being a big game.
yes,
Yeah.
and it was a great game.
It was fun for us, the audience. It's a great
Yeah,
ride. I guess
yeah,
very few parts, if any, were slow in this movie.
fast paced, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And I like that this bad guy happened to be brothers with the with the guy that McClane threw off the roof in part two. It's like it's
Part one.
always attached. Part one,
Yeah. Part
part
one.
one, yeah,
Yeah. Nakatama Towers.
yes. But even in part two, they was the same people from part one. They just added the guy from the bad cop from Terminator.
Yeah.
That's the only addition that they had on part two. Now part three, I'm gonna have to ask you. It might be a spoiler alert for me, but I need to know. Part four. Do they have any relation with one, two, and three? Meaning the evil doers, Dave.
Believe it or not, I've watched part four. And then years later, part five came out. I never went back and rewatched them. But one and three, I've watched the most. I haven't watched part four since it came out, or part five.
What about part six?
Is that the one with his son
That's the one that came out in 2001.
in Russia with his son? Is that the
Oh, I
last
didn't
one?
watch it yet. I just
Uh,
see it in order, so I don't know what none of them are.
yeah. I think I
But
watched it. I don't remember any of them holding up. After this one, I felt there was a steep loss of an on-screen chemistry. And I'll be eager to watch them again. But it
yeah,
was, it's I don't even
it's
remember
sad.
which one's next. I thought there was only five. I didn't realize there's six.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just thought there was Die Another Day or something and Live Hard and Die Free or something. Die Hard and
Yeah.
Live Free. Yeah.
What about a good day to die? That's the newest one.
Oh, yeah, it's a good day to yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even remember it. I'm hoping it's good.
2021.
But I don't know, like I said, we just keep coming back to this one because of the fast pacedness of it. And we come back to the first one because it's just, it's great.
Yeah,
I don't even know if
it's
I've
good.
really watched the second one that often. Because
Yeah, the first
once you
one was
watch
good.
this one, you see how much better it is than the other two. It makes the second one even a little worse. Back when it was just one and two, they
Yeah,
were kind of about the same. And I remember they'd play them back to back on HBO when I was
uh,
younger, and we'd watch them back to back. But once this one came out, you kind of skipped that second one. You'd watch the first one, go over to the third one.
exactly. I,
We'd laugh
I
about,
understand.
the character, what was it, Bunce and Sipowicz from, Chicago Cop
Yeah,
Show and the New York Cop Show. We like
uh,
that he was in that movie. I don't know why. Everyone really seems to like him. He must be a good actor. I mean,
for the second
big
in the second one.
no, it's the same guy I was talking about from the two different New York Cop Show and the Chicago Cop Show. Uh NYPD Blue, the fatter cop. Uh
Oh, the psycho. He had a father
no,
that
no,
was a
no, the
serial
one
killer.
that he's like, oh my God, you got it at the end of the movie, the second one, you're not getting a ticket in my lot or something, and throws his ticket out for him.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
no, he
okay.
played a recurring role on uh, Hill Street Blues, and then the same writer that wrote NYPD Blue, he had the longest running role on there. Good shows
Is
if you
it?
ever get into cop shows.
Yeah,
He
yeah. Well, I recently got into a show called New York Undercover.
oh,
It
good
had
show.
Malik Yoba. It was like one of Dick Wolf's
Yeah,
first cop things ever. Now he's everywhere. He's SVU. He's everywhere. but that was like one of the first ones because I remember my mom used to watch it, but I was too young. I didn't really understand it,
Yeah.
and I actually thought cop movies like SVU and Law and Orders and all that. I thought they was kind of boring until I got older. Now I could appreciate it. So, do you wish Samuel Jackson was in part four?
Well, yeah, like I said, you start, at least as I remember it, like I said, this is different because you have the whole buddy cop thing going on. That just seems to work. In an action movie, I think they went overboard now because now action movies, unless they're doing the husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Smith ripoff that seems to keep on regurgitating, doesn't mean they're bad movies, but we're seeing a
No.
lot of, you know, spy wife, spy husband.
Yeah.
But I mean, even look at Bruce Willis winds up in them. You're getting these action movies that seem to have more stars, and every time there's a sequel, some other star is joining that's been an action star. And I
Yeah.
don't know if this is because they jam-packed so many people in Fast and the Furious, and everyone loves to make fun of those movies, but I don't care. They're damn addicting, and as they can keep cranking them out, I'll keep going to see them. But now it seems like we've lost the I mean, even if you're looking at Rush Hour,
Mm.
that's a buddy cop movie. If you're looking at, which I almost
Lethal
feel like
Weapon.
is what, yeah, the Lethal Weapons, I almost feel like started the buddy cop type of
Yes. Yes.
action plus the comedy. Like, it made it more realistic. So there's
Yes.
that chemistry when you have two guys together and two guys that aren't exactly seeing eye to eye for whatever the reason is, but it makes when they form the bond seem even
Yeah.
stronger. And as an audience, we get hooked even more, you
Yeah.
know?
I know a lot of us don't like to say it, but we do like a heterosexual romance because they didn't like each other, but they did. Just like your real siblings, you might not like your brother, but you love him. So that's the way it came across, and I'm not sure why did this thing keep striking while the iron was hot. Since this one was so big, why not make part four the same way?
I don't even remember part four. This is going to be interesting. You're
Yeah,
doing the whole series. You're going to do them
yeah,
all.
yeah,
I'm along for the ride. I'm interested to rewatch these.
yeah,
I'm sorry I
yeah.
missed one and two.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm definitely happy that I'm finally paying attention to the series because, like I said, it was only part three to me. Part one was great. Part two was okay. It wasn't bad at all, but like you said, you're right.
Once you watch
Part
this one,
one and three.
yeah, they've
I'm
got
ready for
almost
part
like
four.
they've got the anti Star Trek thing going, right? Because
Mm.
what was it? Star Trek even movies were good, odd movies weren't.
Start. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. I see
Yeah.
that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely see that. I just hope I'm not sad about four. Because I know the potential that they had from three, and I know they had the means to pay Samuel Jackson to be in part four. It would make me feel like, okay, y'all made all this money off of part three because they made a lot and kept it as a profit to go make shittier versions of four, five, and six when y'all could have just made double what y'all made on part three if y'all would have just gave Samuel Jackson the money he was acting for. Because he was not a star like that when this movie came out. Samuel Jackson was like 40 years old in there. He started his career at 40. So maybe they didn't see his potential. Because Samuel Jackson to me right now is bigger than Bruce Willis. Bruce
Well,
Willis was hot.
I mean, yeah, Samuel Jackson's like, yeah, I mean, you did see Ted 2, which is horrible. Ted's great. Ted 2 again was down. But there's a line in there because her name is Samantha L. Jackson, the lawyer they go to, and they're like, "Wait, are you telling me you are Sam L. Jackson?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. What?" And they got their Boston accents I can't do, but she didn't know who Samuel L. Jackson is, and they're like, "Oh, come on, come on. Did you ever watch a movie and there's a black guy in it?" that's Sam Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
See?
and at that point when Ted 2 came out, it is like practically true. If you shift back 20 years, as you would say, you'd be probably have to say like Morgan Freeman was one of the
Yes,
most
he was
popular
Samuel.
names before that. I'm trying to think, you know,
Denzel.
yeah, oh my God, yeah. Oh, and Denzel, what I love. Oh man, are we gonna do a deep dive on all Denzel movies? Because
Yes,
he's got
yes,
movies that I love, nails the meter right at 10, and then he's got these movies like, what is he doing in this movie? He
yeah,
like is all over the place, and like they'll
yeah.
come out, great one, bad one, and I'm like, wait, you read this script? Why did you say yes?
He probably thought he could bring his celebrity to the movie and make
Uh,
shit
I
into
mean,
lemonade.
some like him and Nicolas Cage, I think it's the same thing too. Like
Oh,
Nicolas Cage has been in some bombs and he's been in some winners, and it's like you read these scripts, but yeah, like if you're deep diving Nicolas Cage, I'll definitely want to be around. Samuel L. Jackson could be really interesting. I mean, I don't was Pulp Fiction what blew him up? What actually blew him up? Was it
no,
this?
Pulp Fiction came out like 7 years after this movie. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check it out.
Like, I mean, yeah, he's a great character in Marvel, but I feel like
He's great.
he's like I know everyone's like John Travolta is the best in Pulp Fiction, but I don't know his monologues, his monologue in or whatever you want to call that speech, it is great.
Oh no, he's that's what I'm saying. He's the man. There's nobody out there that did more movies than Samuel Jackson. Nobody. Even the older actors, like Samuel Jackson is in the most movies any actor is in. He has the most movies and the most blockbusters movies that generated loads of money. Let me see. Uh, what was that? Pulp Fiction. Oh, okay. So Pulp Fiction could have blown them up because this came out in 1994. Pulp Fiction.
Ah,
Mhm.
hmm, interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about looking up. I forgot I can look up right here.
Yes, 95. Pulp Fiction probably blew him up.
I
Or
mean,
or
but
was it Jungle Fever? I like the Pulp Fiction, but I think I like this movie a little more. I can't lie.
they're almost not comparable.
No, yeah. Well, I
Yeah, I mean,
enjoyed I enjoyed his role there because he kind of was like McClane needed him through
yeah.
this, So it's kind of like the force needed him. Everybody in the precinct needed him. That's what I like stuff like that. They needed a black man. That's great.
Well, you couldn't go, like Bruce Willis too. They apparently, I don't know if so. It seems like he's suspended. It seems like he's an idiot, but he's drunk, hungover, and they're talking about the missing dump trucks. Oh my God, there's 50 missing dump trucks or 30 missing dump trucks. And he's sitting there half smoking a cigarette, trying to choke down aspirin. He's like, it's an insurance fraud. And then all of a sudden, everyone's listening to him like, oh my God, what a genius. And he's like, yeah. When I was working in California, they also did the same thing on the East Coast in Jersey, which of course, this was an insurance fraud. They needed the trucks for the heist. That was
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
foreshadowing. But so he's like totally wrong. And the entire precinct is looking at this hungover mush. And they're all like, oh, yeah, he's smart. Yeah, he's got that. It was like he was the guru that was the black sheep of the precinct. I don't know what it was. And yeah, it's like
yeah,
what you said. Like, yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, they would have been stuck because he was one that said it's just one. No one moved in the first riddle.
yes,
He
exactly.
got the first riddle. Everyone's like seven times, and he's like, oh, I don't know, seven times seven is 42.
Yeah.
you know,
He was
times
like, I got
seven.
42. He was like, did you get 42 too? McClane was like, yeah, I got 42. Like, it was Samuel that stole this movie. And where he really got his start in, I just looked it up, was a movie called Do the Right Thing. Spike
Oh,
Lee.
Spike Lee's movie that was really good.
Yes,
That's the 80s, isn't it?
yes, 89.
Yeah, all right. Thought that was.
Yeah, so that's where he got to start at. But yes, what blew him up to me would have to be Pulp Fiction and um Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
So yes, we are going into deep dives of these movies, Samuel. Um, it's a couple of other people that we are going into deep dives, but you said that you're cool with jumping in, so that's good. And the rest of the series, you already know we have to finish it. I have to finish it. My
Yeah.
quest from my first movie was, can I find a movie that was just as good or better than the third one?
I can't believe you've only seen the third one prior to this because it's like once you've seen the best, it's kind of like I said, the first one will always hold something special for me. And the first one is a really good movie. But this one, the chemistry is just better, you know?
Yes, because it was black, white. Samuel was racist. So it gave us everything that we would want to see in the 90s. Like,
So it's the black and white cookie theory, huh? You got the half
yeah,
black side, half white side.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for being so brave, I guess, because you cannot make movies like these movies now. You cannot take cheap shots at certain races like Samuel was doing in this movie.
Oh, no, they're gonna. What you think? Like we're done with the days of like Undercover Brother, Hebrew Hammer, those
No,
movies. Yeah, they. I mean, there's always you're gonna always have to have. I mean, yes, we are becoming more and more sensitive, which might be good in a way because sometimes some of these movies, like you go back and watch them now, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That's a little rough. We could have been a little more sensitive. I see some stuff from the future, but I do think we have. I think there's a lot to learn to like look at the stereotypes and like for me, if I'm going to be in the middle of the Midwest somewhere and someone is asking me, what's it like to live and be Jewish? I'm in a mixed area. I really can't tell you. But I'm like, if you want to really find about stereotypes and where they are, I'd hand them a DVD of um, Hebrew Hammer. Like I said, I don't know if you've caught that one. It's like,
I haven't seen it, but it's
it's
supposed to be like a comedy.
yeah, it's a comedy. It's not, you saw Undercover Brother.
Yes.
So not as deep as Undercover Brother, but follows the same type of thing. You know?
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna get all the stuff in there and the stuff that, oh God, yeah, at one time in my life I thought like that. That is wrong, you know?
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So
You
sort
know,
of like
it
that. All right.
to
Yeah.
me, I
Yeah. I
think
like
I think
Undercover
those
Brother.
movies are a bit educational, especially for like it's weird. We live in a very mixed area. So if we all are racist and say stupid stuff and whatnot. Because whatever we are, but it's different when it comes from that ignorant fear because you've never seen anyone. Like,
Mm.
I had a friend. She moved up here from, ooh, I forgot whatever restaurant chain it was. She was working with the chain and they were expanding to New York and they came from Iowa. And she's like, oh, wow, yeah. Long Island is so different than me because there were so many Jewish people. When I was a kid, we only knew one Jewish guy. And apparently he was a Hasidic Jew. So she thought all Jews would look like the Hasidic Jews that we're familiar with from like Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and again, does that make her anti-Semitic? No, it just makes her
Unaware
it's
or
not even
unknown.
yeah, it's just lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I think those movies kind of hold a special place for me. They're needed. My parents were really angry about um Borat. They
Ah,
actually got up and left Borat, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it pushes the line, but I'm like, these are legitimate stereotypes. Michelangelo misinterpreted the Bible and made a sculpture of Moses with the horns on his head. And then people
mm.
thought Jews had horns. So that's that whole part of Borat. I don't know all the things about, coming from eggs and all this stuff, but I'm like, it. brings knowledge to stereotypes. If you ignore this stuff,
Yeah,
you're, it makes it worse, you know?
yeah. No, you can bring awareness to certain things through comedy. So yeah, I can see how that will work because Undercover Brother was comedy, but it was saying a lot of true
It
shit.
did say a lot of, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You know how you could say something truthful, but as long as you laughing, the person won't take it that bad. It's like a joke, but it's truthful. I forgot what they called that, but that's how
yeah.
most people get the hint
That, oh,
of
you did
certain
something
things.
wrong. Don't do this. Yeah, we're laughing about it now, but
Yeah,
eh,
exactly. Yes. So yes, with that being said, thanks Dave for going on this journey of my favorite movie and your favorite movie out of the series. And I'm happy that you're going to join me so we could take these dives into part 4, 5, and 6 and see if we can hunt
thanks.
and find something that's just as good or even better.
I'm hoping years later I enjoy him more.
Me too.
Yeah, well, that'll be
We're,
great.
we're about to see. We're about to see. So, with that being said, thank y'all for the view. Thanks for being here with us, and we'll see y'all next time.